full name Hyperbytes, and I thought today we'd have a little wander through the world of flows. So what we're going to be doing is looking at inline flows, page flows and app flows, advantages and disadvantages of. And I'll be doing a very simple flow process just to highlight the features of these flows. So if I pop into Wappler, I've got this page set up. There's nothing attached to these buttons at the moment. And what I want to do is a simple action. I want to call this server connect, and then I want to use a conditional to say if data is returned, then do this, otherwise do that. I'm going to try that first with a inline flow. So if we have a mouse click event on that button and I click on the flows to open the flow editor, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open a data source server connect, and I'm going to pick a server connect over here called get user by ID, and I'm going to send it ID number 1, which you happen to know is me. I think there's 8 records in this database, and we're going to save that. That sounds great, says he. We've done that, but now if we go into flow control and we go into condition, now I want that condition to be if there's any data returned from that server connect, and if we do that, we'll see that that server connect does not actually appear anywhere in our data bindings, and that's a limitation of an inline flow. In actual fact, you can't do that. You can't pick up the return of a server connect to then use at a subsequent stage within that flow. So it makes it pretty useless for what we want to do. So I'm just going to delete that, and I'm going to add an action. I'm only doing this just to show that this works, and I'm just going to add a very simple alert. Message is inline flow clicked. Save that. Now if I go back into my browser and just refresh that, you'll see there that it recognizes that we've clicked that button, and it does tell us the inline flow has been clicked, but that was pretty useless for what we need. What we actually do is need to use an alternative, and if we go into flows, you'll see we're going to look at a page flow next. So I'm going to go into page flows. I'm going to do exactly as I did before. I'm going to go into server connect, and I'm going to select that action get user by ID, and I'm going to select ID 1. Now I'm going to add a conditional as I wanted to do before, and you'll see now that because we're using a page flow, we can see that server connect return. So I can use the fact is that query, it's a single record query this, so we can just test on the presence of the query itself. So if there's something being returned, I'm just going to throw up an alert. Data returned. Else. And we go into our alert again and just say no data. I'm going to save that. Now what we need to do is link that button to that page flow. So again, dynamic events, mouse click. We can just go into our standard, run the flow, and save that. Now, if all's gone well, if I first of all refresh that, we see data was returned because we're looking for record number 1. If I now just pop back into that flow, and instead of having record 1, I'll make it record 18, which doesn't exist, and hit page, it tells us no data. Well, now, fairly straightforward. Last type of flow that we're going to be looking at is our app flow. App flows are found within the server connect side of things. You see here app flows, and I'm just going to create again a simple flow, and I'm going to call this my data. We have exactly the same screen, or close to the same screen. The big difference with an app flow is app flows are available from any page within your application, where the page flow is limited only to that page. You also notice we have an extra option of capacitor, and if we look at our database actions, you can see we also not only have pouch that we had in page flows, but we see those capacitive actions. So this is really the way to go if you're writing a mobile type of application. So let's just have a look and see how we do it in this. We've got database actions, data sources, server connect. Let's pick up that. Server connect, we'll send it an ID of 1. I can then now look at the conditional. Condition would be that that data query exists. And exactly as we did before, let's throw up a alert. Just say found data. Else we say no data found. Let's save that. Now let's go back into our screen. I now need to add that app flow to my page. And then on the click of that button, I want to run that app flow. Okay, so there's a save. Let's go back into our application. Now if I click app, we'll see data was found. And again, if I go back into this, I make it record 18 because that doesn't exist. Back into here, quick refresh, and we see no data found. So there we are. We see the differences, different types of flow, how to use them, and the disadvantage with inline flows over page flows and app flows. Nice, quick, simple one that for you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll join me in your next viewing. Thank you.